I am Dr. Paneerselvam.
My dear friends, today is a historical day. Sri Aurobindo left her body, that is on December 5th, that is today, 1950. He lived on the earth for 78 years. He spent his earlier period on education till 20. At the age of 21, he sailed for India from England, and he arrived Pondicherry when he was at the age of 38. Between 38 to 54th age, he held a discussion with all the spiritualists and nationalists and the freedom fighters. And he completely away from the reality for about 24 years. That is from 54 to 78. That is the yoga life. So what he wrote, I think he did enough writing. Nothing to write, nothing to find in the world for the humanity. He did enough work. Everything, it's like a Bible for your life. What is the inner life, where to reach, how to bring. He achieved because he wanted to bring the eternal force, the spiritual force, descend from the godly and heavenly things to be on the earth. He did it. That is why we celebrated this November 24th is a very special spiritual day that is Krishna has been descended. So what all he learnt, what all he understood, what all he wanted to advocate, what all he wanted to propagate to humanity. In almost all his writings, there are about 9 books which is it's more than a golden Bible or more than the people to know, to learn how to live your life. That's all. Everything is there. We don't need to ask any scholar or script or anything to be made. Such wonderful things are there for humanity. But it is you and me and everybody, one of us will have to awake to see what has written about your life and what is the meaning of your life. Everything, it's about 9 books which are titled as number 1, that is a life of divine. How your life is connected with the divine power. What is the divinity? That is called our eternal happiness. That is his first book. The second book was Synthesis of Yoga. What is your perfection? To reach your perfection, to ask yourself, realize yourself, and then bring back your the sixth sense to know the ins and outs and pros and cons. Then you know the meaning of your existence on the earth. We are never be called as animal. We are more than that. And as of today, I think our behavior, attitude, most of things like animal based. We'll have to come out of it. For which you have to read what is the synthesis yoga. The third one will be the secret of Veda, because Veda is not a very ordinary work. It has been given almost all your things in your life. Start from your existence, body, mind, your life, everything is all been corroborated. That's Veda is a highly powerful thing to be knowledge enough. The Upanishads, what are the things which are called evil? What are the best things to be reached out? What are the guiding force? What are the guiding light? That is all the Upanishads. Then again, now when to remember this Krishna's power, that is his fifth book, that is known as Essays on the Gita. So it's not a very ordinary book, because Gita, you have got lot of things to learn, for which you have to be spiritually stronger, mentally stronger, and otherwise you cannot keep those words and the disciples and what all the ideas guided in that Veda as well as the essays on his title. The sixth book is the foundations of Indian culture. Indian culture is most powerful. That is the only place where the spiritual can live for longer. This is a earth Sri Aurobindo has chosen that the place is the worth for bringing back the eternal force and make the people, make the humanity to be more powerful internally and understand the meaning and truthfulness of your life and lead your life very happily, joyfully, and work for others and live for others and make the whole India is a spiritual world. That is all have in your foundations, the foundations of Indian culture. The seventh title is the human cycle. See, it is not only cycle bends with only the external operations. It has a network inside. Many things are interwoven. And many things will have to be brought forward and brought backward, and all that of all exercise will have to be made in such a way to go your path very successfully, to understand the humanity and purpose of your existence, and finally the destination where you have the eternal or this ultimate power. It's called Brahmananda or supramental power. To reach a supramental power, how the transformation has to happen externally and internally, that is the thing which you can learn from this the human cycle. And the eighth title would be the ideal of human unity. That is the birth of your Aurobindo, that is called universal city. What is a human unity? Individually, nobody can succeed. But when you make others to be with you, you have to have that kind of link as well as your collaboration as well as togetherness. To bring the togetherness, it is a unique attempt. It is a vital power is required. That very well we can see you in an organization, your body, or a family, everywhere. Unless all things are being together, you cannot achieve things in life. The togetherness is one of the very vital things in your life, that even when you take your body, life, and mind will all be collaborated together and functioning very well to reach the heavenly destinations. And the epic that is called as a Savitri, explaining the reality, comparing with the epic information, that is one of these the best known writer. So with all through this writing, one on the community, on the humanity can understand where to go, what to go, and how to live, and how to proceed with yourself. That's all. That is a guiding light. That's all. More than that, we cannot discuss. I think it's a guiding force, guiding light. It will tell you how you will have to lead your properly life. He achieved. He did it. He achieved. He succeeded in bringing back the supramental force in on the earth. So that is today is not only historical. It is very auspicious day. That is Sri Aurobindo left his body. So we also see some of his the other details in this video. When Sri Aurobindo left his body, his clock also got stopped at 1:26 a.m. That was his bracket clock. So he didn't function when it came to know the Guru left his body. 1950 ஆண்டு டிசம்பர் மாதம் 5ஆம் நாள் நள்ளிரவு 1:26 புண்ணிய பூமியை உருவாக்குவதற்கு வழிகாட்டிய பொன் மகனாருடைய புனித தினம். This was Sri Aurobindo's living room. Sri Aurobindo's body was found to have the beautiful white gold color fabric. Divine Mother announced for the burial to be scheduled 41 hours after Sri Aurobindo left his body. It was as per the schedule 41 hours after he left his body, that is on 7th of December, to be buried on this burial ground. But that remained postponed due to valid reasons. The postman of burial says no funeral today. That is until further information, because the body is charged with a concentration of supramental light, shining. The light is shining. And to surprise to know that no sign of decomposition at all. The body remains intact. The body is kept lying on bed. Not one day, not 2 days, not 3 days, several days. The victory is quiet. Victory is quiet. Thousands of people have seen this body and pay the darshan with homage. Sri Aurobindo left his body on December 5th. Days counted, days went by, but no decay, no water of death, shining and ever fresh. However, it was decided to bury him on December 9th, that is on 5th day, at 5 p.m. Lay him in a rosewood case covered with silver satin and buried most simply with no big religious ceremony. So we all felt the miraculous preservative light, the shining light, teaching light, guiding light departed from us. There is a charge, the supramental charge of consciousness and conquest of death. What Aurobindo said before his departure, the only thing that I could prevent, what is that prevent? What prevented him? My own death or the mother's death. Cessation of death on this planet, and that sadhana would cease to be necessary again, would cease to be necessary for anybody. That was his message. He also remarked, death would not be necessary. In case if the mind and the vital and body, if were more conscious and plastic, death would not be necessary. Then why then death? There will be a question. It is because the being in the body is not developed enough to go on growing in the same body. Body itself now not sufficiently conscious. That is why there is a death. The mother, the strongest collaborator of Sri Aurobindo, gave a message like this. The message given by mother is, Sri Aurobindo is constantly among us and reveals himself to those who are ready to see and hear him. Very golden words. Sri Aurobindo is with us. He is living with us. He is helping us. He is guiding us. He is taking us the right path. அவருடைய வெளிப்பாடு reveals himself எப்போ தெரியும் அப்படின்னா, to those who are, you should be ready to receive his message. You have to learn what all he has given to us. Those who are ready to see, அதை பார்ப்பதற்கு, அதை கேட்பதற்கு நீங்கள் தயாராக இருந்தால், definitely Sri Aurobindo is constantly, not irregularly, the now and then, he is ever, forever, constantly among us. அவர் வெளிப்பாடு தெரியணும் அப்படின்னா, then I think those who are ready, you should be ready to get all his hearings, learnings and everything. Then he'll be with us.